Good evening, is the freak continue? Apparently it is not. Hold on one second, please. Okay, there we go. That's something messed up on my computer there. I was hearing myself. Anyway, this is K4PEW, net control for the Mount Juliet Simplex radio net. Is there any emergency or priority or even mildly priority traffic? Nope. I didn't think so. Never has been. But if there is an emergency, please call 911. And if you can't do that, call us and we'll call it for you. Just make sure you have your address handy and give it to us. Net may be broken at any time. For information on this net, you can look right up now on YouTube. Put K4PEW, that's Kilo 4 Papa Echo Whiskey in the search block, and hit the enter button, and it's in the YouTube search block. And it'll bring up, I think they call it a premiere, or it says, I don't know, you'll see it. It's whatever's going on there. I can't remember the last time I looked at it. Anyway, you can also on there you can hear stations you might not be able to hear on your own from your own station. You'll be able to hear them from. Give you an idea how far away they are. Or you can go to 146.415.net for information on Simplex. You can go to groups.io and do MJSS in the search block there, and you can sign up for our email system, or you can just see our net schedule. The email system is for reminders about the nets and local nets, as well as information on ham radio, predominantly information on ham radio. And I say predominantly, like 99%. Once in a while, something sneaks in there that's a little off. Might be of interest to ham related. It's not a spam site, let's put it that way. It's not a joke site, although sometimes there's some funny things that go on. Or you can email me at k4pew@arrl.net. We meet at 8 p.m. every Wednesday and Saturday night at 8 p.m. Yeah, I said that twice. And this week we conduct a net as always. We have been doing it for the last of our 944 previous nets, because this is net number 945. Not mentioning the 10-meter nets. It's on Sunday night. And that's the next announcement is for the 10-meter net on Sunday nights at 7:30 p.m. Sunday nights, it's 28.415. Michael KM4 YRF does that net, and it moves on to 29.415 on Simplex. And it's the only net we do that's on 10 meters FM. We don't do that tonight. We could, but we don't want to compete. And then he moves on to 223.415, which is what we're doing tonight too. We're going to go from 146.415 FM to 28.415 upper side band, and over to 223.415 on the 220 band. As far as announcements, we've got those three nets tonight. We also have a breakfast this coming Saturday at Golden Corral. That's at 8 a.m. We try to get there early, so we're the first ones in line. So we're the only ones who are putting boogers on the ladles and the forks and the spoons. What else? Announcements? Oh, that's the breakfast, the three nets. Any other announcements we need to know about? All right, like I said, it's net number 945. Remember, the net's here for fun. I didn't mention that, but it is here for fun. And it's also here, and that fun can turn into a good service for your community and your family and for your neighbors in the event of an emergency, because while there's seemingly a lot of ham radio operators, like for instance in this general area, a few thousand, only a few of them are prepared for emergencies. A lot of them are just doing HF, which there's opportunities for emergencies there as well. At any rate, Simplex is here for fun, and we're here for fun. Like I said, we've been doing this is our 10th year, and I hope it's been fun. It's been fun for me. Okay, then we're starting from the west, but we're also going to take in first-time check-ins, mobile operators, and or people short on time. Please come now if you're one of those three categories. Hold on, John. I had Mike up there in Hendersonville. You doing all right, John? I mean, Mike. That's all we got is time. Very good. Hope you're doing all right. Well, I'm doing pretty good for getting to be a upper, I'll call it upper middle age 74-year-old. Well, my secret to what little success I've had is just you got to keep moving and keep active, or you just, I think you decline a lot quicker. Well, it's keeping your brain and your body, just you don't have to go crazy. You don't have to be Arnold Schwarzenegger or a marathon runner. I mean, it's because that can be very debilitating at an old age. Well, let's hope that works out. Which band you're looking at for? We're doing it for? Okay, very good. Are you using any specific design on the web? Okay, very good. Well, those can work great. It's like getting a haircut. You can take it off too much, but you can put it all back. Cool. Yeah, that's where you want it, real low. All right, well, very good. Anything else there, Mike? Very good. That's Mike in Henderson. I think I heard John in there. I can hear you fine, although you're not showing me any signal whatsoever on the screen. No, no, I'm lying. I was looking at the wrong screen. You're about 50 over to me, although your audio is not very robust. It seems very weak for a signal that strong. Are you really sticking your mouth up to the microphone? Oh yeah, that sounds much, much better. It's double the audio strength, I think, and you're still about 40 to 50 over. So yeah, you're at the house. Yeah, what's nice about see, I don't even know. I don't know how to. I have no way to measure in the right way an HT output, but uh, I know that I don't know which radio you have, but like I know the Kenwood I have, it gives the rating what the output is if you're on what battery and what strength level, and you can you're it degrades quite quickly, on a battery, and that's why it's better. Even if you have an HT, plug it into a power source if you can do it, like a 12 volt power source. If you could have an input for that. You're not looking for miracles out of HTs. You're not going to be working across the state. I saw an ad that somebody else sent me for a new HT. I don't. It was at least a dual band and it monitored some other frequencies. I'd never heard of it before, but and it said it had something. I forget what it said. 10 mile. It had some ridiculous assertion that it could talk over 10 miles. So I go, yeah, if you're on a mountain. Exactly. I just get a kick out of it when you see these, especially if they're Asian ads. It says, "Oh, for maximum distance," and they'll even have antennas that are rated for 50 or 60 miles or 75 miles for radio, for TV antennas. I'm like, seriously, dude, what are you talking about? Yeah, I know. Anyway, anything else for that? All right, thanks, John. That's John Kilo Oscar 4 Delta Foxtrot Alpha. He's over in Hermitage. Hermitage. Do I have that right? Hermitage. Okay, man, my memory's still somewhat there. I'm still questioning it though. So anyway, who else is West? I mean, excuse me, short on time or mobile or first time checking? Hold on one second. I heard Tim in there first. There was a double, but I'll get you in a second. Hang on one second. How you doing, Tim? Oh yeah, I'd rather have you spend time with her than me. Well, you know the rule really about any manly activities outside of marriage, in hobbies or work. It's really family first, and everything else is a distant second. Well, whatever you do, be careful. I was reminded, and everybody else a reminder too. I had a guy I knew in high school. He was just an acquaintance, really. I knew him from high school. He was a year behind me, so he wasn't somebody I was with. And he lived on the same street I did. And I didn't realize until 40 years later, he became a fireman. And he was a fire chief in the city, one of the fire chiefs, I'll call it, in the city that I grew up in. And he was retired. He retired, I don't know what age, but he retired. And danged if he didn't die while I was up there falling off a ladder at the age of about 60 or 61. I said, man, Shevitz, that guy and a fireman, he must have been on a ladder hundreds and hundreds of times. And what's he do? He kills himself at home putting up Christmas lights. Well, I would suggest that if you have any question about your balance or your strength, stay off ladders, because or if you're clumsy, like I can be sometimes. Some of the best accidents happen on ladders, and I've done them. Anyway, Tim, good to have you there. Tim's in Murfreesboro, Kilo Romeo for Alpha Zulu. And good signal tonight. Go back to the family chores there. This is and who else is next? Who else was in? Oh, you're stretching my mind again. It's Tango Zulu Papa, right? Oh, there we go. Tango Charlie. Yeah, C's and Z's get confusing, don't they? Oh, that'd be great. Good to have you in there, Daniel. That's Whiskey 3 Tango Charlie Papa. I'm going to try to be on the 10-meter net a little later. Good to have you in there. Very good. Thanks, Daniel. Thanks for being there. Who else is short on time or mobile or first time checking? Oh man, KQ4FQ. I don't know who that call is. Help me. Well, that would explain why I don't remember. I don't remember what happened yesterday. Oh, it's not quite that bad. Kevin, good to have you in. Where are you located? I heard sometime in the recent past, I say recent, it's my story. It was probably within the last 10 years. It says that Halloween is the most people spend the most money for decorations for any holiday that's in Halloween. Yeah, my wife sent me to the Walgreens to buy candy, and I went to pick. I just went to. She ordered it online, and I went to pick it up at the store. She must have bought 25 pounds worth of candy. I said, "We haven't had anybody come to the house in 10 years." Well, not so much. I will have a few samples sometimes, and I mean that sincerely, because I don't want to fall back into where I was before. I lost 50 or so pounds over the last 3 years, and I don't want to go back to that again. Well, very good. Don't ever hesitate in other times, because there's somebody. Oftentimes, there's people monitoring this frequency, so don't hesitate to jump in there anytime you do have free time, if you do have free time for that matter. Very good. That's Kevin. He's in Hermitage tonight. Well, is that right? I think he said Hermitage. I wrote down Hermitage. There we go. Kilo, Quebec 4, Foxtrot, Quebec, Oscar. It hasn't checked in a year, so we almost called that a first time check-in. But long time. It did his annual check-in. That's what it was. Who else? It was any of those categories: short on time, first time check-in, or mobile. All right, on to the west. Please come now. No, I heard somebody. I heard who did I heard? I heard Bon Aqua in there. Hold on 1 second, Mr. Bon Aqua. Greg, how are you? Yeah, some of that is. I heard some. I had the radio on earlier today, and I didn't even bother to get on because the people I heard on there, there was a noise level I have not heard before, and I don't know where it came from. Just a buzzing noise. No, you could see it on the screen as this ugly buzzing noise, and it was intermittently got worse. It was like triple the level on the screen. I couldn't believe how awful it was. But I didn't even bother. Oh yeah, I'm with you. This is K4 PEW. And I don't know why it's not showing. Maybe I changed something on the screen. It's not even showing an SWR, and I'm pretty sure I got an SWR on the rig. That's not certainly zero. I don't know what happened. I must have changed it. Well, nothing. It's still not showing. Okay, whatever. That was Greg. The Kilo Delta 4 Charlie Victor Echo. I am curious why that it's not indicating anything on the screen for me, but it is for everybody else. Okay, who else is West? Hello, Don. What's up? I'm doing pretty good, I guess, for a semi-old man. Like I said, I'd like to look at my 74-year-old upper middle ager. How's it? Well, and I meant this as a night, and not as a slur against anybody else. I was telling my wife earlier because there are days, you know, and here I am, I'm going to be 75 on my next birthday, and that and I'm, you've met me. I'm a fairly big guy, and I asked my wife. I said, how does anybody? And I'm fairly active. I exercise almost every day. And I asked my wife. I said, how do some people actually move around at this age if they're not active? I mean, if they're not regularly active, and apparently some people do better than I would. People who are smaller build. Oh yeah, ugly's in there too. Yeah, and I tend to believe that. I mean, I see people who are I believe my age or younger when I see him. In fact, today I was over at Walmart picking up a couple of things, and there was a couple of people in front of me, and the woman looked like she was younger than me, and she was walking at about a snail's pace. And I was just like, just, I didn't dare whiz by her, knock her over, But she was just, and the guy in front of her was about my age, might have been a couple years older, and he was walking at a very slow pace. And I'm just not one of those people. And I go, wow, I'm sure they can't walk faster, or they would. I mean, even if they were way like half a normal pace. And I realized that some people just don't have the same issues. They got worse issues than I had. I I laugh about that though, because yeah, I am at the moment. I mean, when I had that when I had that guy broadside me on my bicycle with a car, and when I asked the certain the neurology guys, is you got a brain bleed, and it's in your brain, and that's what caused you to lose the feeling in your right leg. And I said, when's it going to come back? And he goes, maybe next week, maybe next month, and maybe never. I go, okay. I go, well, is this going to have any long-term opportunities for brain problems? He goes, maybe. I go, oh, that's very reassuring. Yeah, we're not going to let you die until you pay the bill. Yeah, I know it is. It's crazy. I mean, the cost of healthcare these days, I never thought it would be this crazy. When I used to go to the doctor when I was a kid, my mother paid, I think, $7. Yeah, very good. That's Don. He's in Bon Aqua, November 4 Delta Juliet Tango. Who else is west? All right. How's that? K4 PEW. Is that better?
I'll text some stuff. Go ahead, though.
I see. I also, the reason I didn't notice it was low, I usually put on headphones, and if I forgot actually today, if I put my headphones on fully with a normal volume for the microphone to pick it up on the camera that has the built-in microphone, it's too loud for my headphones, so I have to park them back a little further on my ears to keep from blowing them out.
Very good. I think it's good now. KD4TV.
Very good. That was Greg with a little technical assistance. He's my remote engineer. Who else is West?
Kilo Golf 4, India Lima Victor, Jack and Donaldson.
Man, everybody sounds better once I raise the volume in my headphones. That's great. How you doing there, Jack?
I'm doing great, and you're 10 over tonight.
Is that good for you?
Oh, yeah, it sounds great.
I think we have great conditions because Don and Bon Aqua is really good too. Great audio, good signal, and everybody so far has been really big, big stuff.
Yeah, everybody's sounding great, so yeah, we're blessed with good conditions.
Yeah, very good. Anything good for the net?
No, that's all for me. I'll see you on the next one. KG4 ILV.
Very good. That's Jack and Donaldson, Kilo Golf 4, India, Lima, Victor. Who else, West? All right, South.
Yep, 4 Yankee Bill.
Hey, Bill, hold on one second. I had that was November Yankee. And let me take Tony first. Tony, everything okay?
Unless you've heard something.
Well, somebody told me you were uglier than me, but I was pretty sure they were wrong.
Yeah, you sound like my wife.
I had to go do something with that ugly comment you had earlier.
Yeah, my wife's funny. She purposes at me for stuff I do wrong that hasn't even happened yet.
Oh, yeah. Well, they all work out of the same playbook, you know that.
Heard that.
Yeah, it's the same thing. I saw a meme. I saved it, and I don't know from when, but it said it was a picture of It's all it said, really. You don't have to know what the picture said. It said, if your wife appears to be doing something wrong, make sure to tell her how your mother did it. She'll really appreciate
You heard.
it. I got a kick out of that because, man, that seems to be a bone of contention with every wife on the planet.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we don't care how your mother does it. I mean, that's what. Anyway, anything good for the net? You sound good tonight.
Oh, the blessed thing.
All right, very good. Hope things are well. How's the pooch doing?
She got her chicken strips from Zaxby's, so she's happy.
Oh man, but you know what? They're never really happy because our dogs would eat probably every 30 minutes.
Oh, yeah. And you know, they're innately highly manipulative.
Yeah, I know. And they're also, I actually, all of the dogs, their middle name is Hoover, like in the vacuum.
No, Annie's not that way. Anyway, I don't let anybody else know. KF450.
Very good. That's Tony. He is in Smyrna, KF4, KFQ. I think I heard you. Kilo Mike 4, November Yankee. How you doing tonight, Bill?
Wonderful. Sounds like everybody else does too.
Yeah, your signal's pretty good tonight. I like it.
Well, I'm hearing almost everybody. A few of them scratchy, but they're a long ways away.
Oh yeah, well that's like I said, that's what's kind of neat. I forget, I'm in the middle, so I tend to hear everybody well or reasonably well. But it's Simplex is more exciting just than some other areas of ham radio. Locally it's fun.
I've enjoyed it over the years. I don't have much good equipment now, but I still enjoy what I got. Be able to use what I've got.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Anything else good for the net, Bill?
Just keep doing a good job. I appreciate everybody in there, really. And best of y'all.
Very well. Bill in Murfreesboro sends his regards to everybody. Hopes everybody's doing well. That's Kilo Mike 4, November Yankee. Who else is south or east?
Hello, NPR South.
Hold on there. I was quick to jump there, but I think I heard the KE4SYV. Is that you, Larry?
Yeah, man, that's me. We'll let you get on with it. KE4SYV.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, you got a reasonably good signal tonight, Kit. So we do have great conditions. It has been awkward since I moved my antenna over 30 feet. That's Kilo Echo 4 Sierra at Yankee Victor, and that's Larry. He's in Rockville. And I heard Michael. Is there anybody, before I jump in there, Michael, is there anybody else south that I'm missing? All right, we're taking Mike. How you doing, Mike?
Doing good. Looking forward to the purchase come Saturday.
Oh, yeah. See, we actually ought to have since we're kind of we're a simplex cult. I'm going to use that term. And this cult, after the Wednesday net, you should be fasting Thursday, Friday, so you can eat a lot on Saturday.
I don't know about that, man.
I can't. I didn't say I could do it. I just said we ought to do it.
True. But yeah, everything's going good over here, and I just hope everybody has a nice week. I know we can use the rain. Might not happen.
Well, I knew that I can tell it's dry for one reason. The first time I've ever seen it, I have a small pond in the backyard, and across the pond I have a 1x10, I think it is. The turtle jumps up on and basks in the sun. Yeah, there's a fairly large turtle out there, and the turtle. It's cool enough. The turtle, I haven't seen him in a couple of days. Today there was a rabbit on that little wood platform getting water out of the pond, which I've never once seen a rabbit in that pond. Well, our fence, I got a wholly fenced backyard, so they got to jump over a 6-foot fence to get in. Oh no, that's yeah, you're absolutely right. They can really jump over a lot of good stuff. 6 foot that's a cakewalk to them.
True, but turning that back over to you, and I hope everybody's doing good.
Very good. That's Michael K3 Kilo 3 Mike Papa Romeo. He's east of me, a couple of miles in here in Manchulia. Who else is south or east?
KM4YRS.
Hey, Mike, how are you doing?
Doing pretty good for an old guy, Paul.
Old guys sit out on their new back patio and just watch on such nice days we've had last week.
Man, I know what Thomas and I sat out there Sunday drank our coffee, and it was just so nice.
Oh man, it is so nice. And I went out several times in the morning. I'm out, and it's almost like it's perfect weather. You know, it's sunny and it's not hot. It's not cold. It's like perfect weather for working.
Absolutely. Well, I guess it's probably one of the better things that I've done is screening in that deck.
Oh, that's right. You screened it in too. Yeah, it is. I hate to say it, but it's true. Mosquitoes are a problem everywhere I've ever lived, and they are a pain, especially when it gets towards sunset.
Well, we had seat out there on that deck several times before we tore the old one down and built the new one, but man, it's just really not worth it because of the bugs and the flies. But it ought to be way better now.
Yeah, you ought to get that septic tank covered up though. That would stop the flies.
Yeah, well, I'll work on that.
Or is it or is it the outhouse? Anyway, I know you don't have it. Anyway, that's Michael. Do you have anything else other than that besides the fly story?
No, that's all from me, Paul. Thank you for doing what you do. Back to net control, KM4YRS.
All right, that was Michael. Kilo Mike 4 Yankee Romeo Foxtrot. He's here in Mount Juliet, also about a couple of miles east of me. Great signal as always. He's the one who fills in for me when I'm goofing off, pretending I'm goofing off, and pretending I'm sick. Who else is east? No more east. How about north? Wow, not even Mark. Mark's not back yet, man. He's taking an extended vacation. Frank's not there. Wow. Anybody else? Any place, anywhere? Please come in.
Kilo 4 Tango November Romeo, Kevin at that page.
Hello, Kevin. Saved the day here. I thought we were done.
Oh, I've been bouncing back and forth. I saw you started in the west, so I knew I had a few minutes to finish cooking and stuff. So timed it pretty good. How are you doing tonight?
I am doing really good. I really enjoy this weather a lot. I enjoy any weather actually. I don't really care too much. I care. The only thing I don't like is being out in the sun all day. That is blistering to me. It always has been, and I worked construction in the sun, and I didn't like it then, and I don't like it now. Any other time, I'll be outside in the shade. I don't care how hot it is. I really don't care how cold it gets. But I'm not a person who gets concerned myself too much about what the weather is.
Yeah, it's been pretty nice. I've been enjoying it a lot. I like it a little bit cooler. It'd be even better, but it's been pretty good so far. Next week may be a little better.
Oh yeah, so I hear. You remind me when I was in Florida for 36 plus years, 36 going on 37, and I still again I really am. I don't know if it's because I'm mostly Eastern European blood, but cold weather doesn't bother me. It gets cold. Don't get me wrong. But it doesn't seem I don't have any problems with cold weather, and even when I was in Florida, you get used to the hot weather, but I still cool weather didn't bother me. And my wife used to get upset with me, my then wife, my second wife. I'd go out to do something in the front lawn or go get the mail or do whatever, just do something that spent a few minutes out in the front yard. And it would be 35 or 40 degrees, which is, it happens in Florida. And she goes, what in the world? And I'd wear no shirt. I was wearing shorts and no socks. What are you doing? I said, it's not that bad. It's not snowing out. It's not hailing out. It's not no freezing rain. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, I like the cold if I'm prepared for the cold, but if I'm not prepared, I would probably wear a pink tutu to stay warm. But that's why I always like to stay prepared and keep some stuff on me and be prepared when it comes time when I know I'm going to be outside. So.
Oh, absolutely. I've had my days. I was home ported in Newport, Rhode Island, and sometimes on watch we have to spend several hours outside, and you weren't moving around much. So, man, you do anything to keep your feet moving from freezing to death.
Yeah, I mean that's like guard duty at a shack or something. I mean, you're there, you can't go more than probably 10 feet or so outside of your position. I mean, and it's like 20 degrees outside. You're gonna do anything you can to stay warm. And that's just all there is to it. Hence the pink tutu comment.
Oh yeah, no, you would. fact, there was one occasion when we were in port, we would shut for engine for reasons, I guess, for efficiency, and also because they were working if they're doing boiler repairs or something on our ship, and they'd bring a steam line across from the supply of steam from the central plant on the base, and that's what supplied all our heat and all our cooking stuff and everything. But if you were working out at one point where we were standing watch on the ship, that steam line was my source of keeping my feet warm. The steam line was about, I don't know, 3 or 4 inches in diameter. It was insulated, but it was still warm. So I just stand on top of that steam line the whole time.
Yeah, I mean, I was in kind of some higher elevation in Europe when I was in Bosnia during the winter. I mean, it gets pretty cold. I mean, you get a little 2 or 3 gallon drip pan for your vehicle and put some diesel fuel and a little JP8 in it. I mean, you can stay warm from about 15 feet away.
Yeah, the only problem with that is you start to smell like diesel fuel.
Well, you know, when you're cold, you're cold. And if you forget your gloves or your scarf or something, you know, you're going to do what you got to do.
Yeah, that was one of the things that a lot of people, since you've been over in Bosnia, you know what I'm talking about. But my wife has never been to Europe. At least she found familiar with that geography. I'll just put it that way. And she during the early part of the Ukraine war, they were talking about, and it was like April or May, and she says, and it was images of some refugees or whatever you want to call it moving into Poland, and all the people in Poland and the refugees were dressed in warm clothing. She goes, why are you wearing warm clothing? It's almost summer. I go, apparently you don't realize how far north Poland is.
Yeah, it's a different world once you travel around a little bit and see some things and some different time zones, different areas, different times of the year. That's for sure.
Yeah, how was Bosnia though? I mean, normally, did it get extremely cold there?
No, I've been in 2 extremely cold places. The coldest place I've ever been in was Gander, Canada. Flying back from Bosnia, we stopped there to refuel, and it was too cold to smoke a cigarette. I mean, literally, like 2 hits, you put the thing out because your like fingers were numb. But the coldest place I've actually stayed for like a week was probably Hohenfeld, Germany, at one of the training bases when we were on our way into Bosnia.
Yeah, that Gander's in Newfoundland, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I was just looking at a map of that. I didn't see Gander though, but I just remembered. The only reason I remember Gander is because I think that's the town that's accepted all those planes that came in on 9/11.
Yeah, I think that's pretty close to where like a plane full of 101st Airborne soldiers crashed and died back in I don't remember, late 80s maybe.
Yeah, I don't have to look on the notes of my uncle served in World War II, my father's brother, and he was a navigator on a B-52, and they were transporting them to the base in England. I don't believe they were in. I think they were in a troop transport type plane, but that's where they actually refueled. They were flying from Florida at the training base up to Gander, and then over to England.
Yeah, I was coming from Germany, so it was Germany, then into Philadelphia. But, I mean, it was cold. You know, I mean, you're just out on the tarmac. You got to walk 200 yards back to get inside, and I mean, by the time you walk that far, it was too cold to smoke a cigarette.
Yeah, besides all the fluid in your nose is frozen.
Yeah. Well, I'll let you get back to it. It was good talking to you. Hopefully, check in with you next time. K4 TNR, back to net control.
Very good. That's Kevin and Bethpage, Kilo 4 Tango, November Romeo. Excellent signal and audio. Who else is any place anywhere?
WB0 and OL.
Oh man, I thought you left. I thought you were on the lam or something.
Yeah, I've been gone for a while. Yeah, I told Robin where I was going and when I'd be back. I said, at this age, you don't want anybody making speculations.
No. I gathered you were out of town. No, in fact, I try not to announce if I'm going to be out of town. If I'm out of town, it's just you don't know what's going to happen, with the people who are listening on the air. I don't think there's any hams that take advantage of it, but who knows?
Yeah, that's kind of why I don't say a lot. But I was happy that you announced it for me last week or so.
Yeah, somebody mentioned that to me though. I didn't. I should have stayed quiet.
I'm kidding. No problems. Made it back. Gone. We were gone about 3 weeks and spent time in the salt and the sand of the North Florida beaches.
I tell you what, those North Florida beaches are the best.
Oh yeah, I think so. I pretty much go for the seafood.
Yeah, well, I like I said, I spent a lot of time. I spent a lot of years, decades, and on the West Coast. I also was over on the East Coast in Miami for a year or so, and truly the best beaches are right there in the north, in the Panhandle.
Yep. Well, I enjoy it. Actually, my dad was at the Eglin Field in the climatic hangar down there during the big war.
Oh, was he training stuff down there? Training people?
He was actually a flight surgeon and worked on developing cold weather gear. I mean, tell me why the Army does that. Develop cold weather gear in Florida, but he did in the climatic hangar there. And they were developing flight jackets and warm clothing for in case we had to go across the North Pole to, I guess, go after Russia.
That does seem odd, doesn't it?
It does seem odd, but it would get that hangar could get to like 20 below.
Oh wow! I wonder if they practiced any skiing events in there too.
Yeah, he was involved with the physiology of the guys that were wearing the stuff and all, taking their temperature. I guess I don't know. I think mostly he joined the Army Air Corps so he could learn to fly.
Well, you might already know this, right? I'll bet you do. But as you know, the Army Air Force was the whole key in World. Not key, that was a together thing in World War II. And I'm told that one of the principal injuries in B-52 operators was frostbite, just due to they're up there at the high altitudes, they're on oxygen, but it leaked a lot when you've got these gunnery positions that are open to the outside.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I guess it was about a year ago, I got to fly in a B-17. And it came into Nashville. It was actually down in Smyrna at the base. And we splurged and bought tickets and got to go fly in that thing. And well, I'll tell you what, it was a lot of rattle.
I understand. I think you told me it was pretty noisy, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was noisy and everything looked like it was loose.
I've had a few cars like that. Yeah, that's not very reassuring, is it?
No. Kind of the you go of the sky is the way I thought about it. But it was fun. It wasn't worrisome at all, but I had probably a 30-minute flight in it. I can't imagine the guys spending hours and hours in the turrets and things like that. Boy, that'd be rough.
Yeah, I know that I read in my uncle. I got a copy of his diary from World War II and the 25 missions he did, and they talked about how they'd fly from out of the air base in England and go to bombing runs over Germany and Italy, and you go, holy crap, that's not a short distance. I mean, I forget what the hours were, but there were several. It was like maybe 6, 8, 10 hours in the air. High altitude. It sounded like awful, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what high altitude was for those guys, but I imagine, I don't know, what were they? Did they go much over 10,000 feet?
I'm pretty sure they did. I'm pretty sure they got up higher than that. I'd have to double check on that, but I'm pretty sure they got, well, let's put that, they had to be on oxygen. Everybody on the plane was on oxygen.
Yeah. Oh, I bet it was cold. Anyway, different generation, but things have sure changed. Anyway, I'm back home, resting up for, you get home for vacation, you got to rest up.
I know. I know it is funny. And anyway, that was Mark, Whiskey Bravo 0, November, Oscar, and he is he's home again. So we're glad to have him back here in Wilson County. He's in Northwest Wilson County. Who else is any place anywhere?
It answers the question. Max altitude of 17, 38,000.
Okay, hold on. Hey, hold on, Kilo Quebec 4 in Bethpage. Yeah, I was pretty sure it was up there. I thought it was around 30,000, but you said 38,000 was the maximum ceiling?
That's what it says, 38,000. And then the early B-17s were 27.8, so 38,000 per DM cold.
Yeah, that's got to be what, minus 50? Minus something like that?
Oh, I got a chart on my computer. I can pull it up here in a couple minutes.
Man, that's unbelievable cold. Can you imagine sitting in one of those gunnery, the guys in the nose gunnery position or the underbelly one? Holy crap, that'd be terrible. Anyway, did you hear that, Mark, about 38,000 feet?
Yeah, I heard it. But you're right. That's got to be tough.
Minus 54 degrees. Actually, minus 65 Fahrenheit.
I've been in minus 17, and minus 65 would be like you just reach up and if you hit your nose, it would fall off. That's awful. Anyway, that was a little bit of history there. Who is the Kilo Quebec 4 station, please? Okay, your signal's a little rough for me tonight, and it's Kilo Quebec 4. Give me those last 3 digits again, please. Is it something Papa Charlie? Because it really is. It's got a lot of noise on the signal. One more time on Kilo Quebec 4, and then Kilo Quebec. Yes, Kilo Quebec 4. Something Papa Charlie. Is that correct? Okay, it's Foxtrot uniform. I should know this, but give it to me again, that last digit. Zulu, there we go. Very good. Your signal, I don't remember hearing you if this being that bad a signal. Must be bad conditions for your location. Yeah, it is. Like I said, it's a little rough. Is anybody copying him better than I am?
I've got it, but it's a really, really rough copy.
I think I had a Foxtrot uniform Zulu. Is that correct? No, it's Foxtrot. Okay. One more time. I scribbled over myself here, and my memory is a little messed up right at the moment. It's Kilo Quebec 4, Foxtrot, something Zulu. What's the middle one again, please? Okay, that's what I had. And then the last digit is Zulu, right? Zebra or Zulu? Okay, very good. Yeah, like I said, and you're where are you? Okay, yeah, you must be in a bad spot, or your antenna isn't as good as it should be. I don't know which. Well, very good. I don't remember you checking in before, but I'm glad you're there. Oh, that's why. No wonder. I thought I do remember that Foxtrot uniform Zulu. I usually would remember it's a fuzz is a kind of a funny, a call I'd remember, FUZ. Anyway, everything going good up there in Bethpage? Are you on what kind of antenna are you using up there? Ah, okay, very good. Because yeah, I don't know where you are in Bethpage, but or your elevation, but one of the other parties who was in earlier from Bethpage, he had a killer signal. I mean, it was just like he was down the street from me. So I'm not sure if you need help on an antenna, or are you on the mailing list? You can always ask a question about antennas or what's the best way to go or whatever on our groups.io site. Yeah, very good. You can just go to groups.io and put in Mount Juliet. It's MJSS and sign up there. Very good. That was Joe in Kilo Quebec 4 Foxtrot Uniform Zulu with a first time check-in. Good to have you there, Joe. Appreciate it. We'd like everybody to, well, if everybody participated, we'd be here all night, but I'm glad you're there. That was Joe and Beth Bates. Anybody else?
Kilo India 4 Sierra India Bravo, Kilo India 4 Sierra Oscar Romeo, Betty Nepal.
Have you checked in before?
It's been a minute.
Yeah, very good, Richard. Everything well?
Everything is under control. Well, at the moment, I'll put it that way. We're in the process of creating a different place to dwell, I'll put it, and that's becoming a big chore, but we will charge on and get her done in the best way we can, as quick as we can. But anyway, I'll see y'all Saturday morning at breakfast, and we'll run out of creek on rise. So take care and I'll let you then. KI4SIB out of the way to 7-3.
Very good. You know, they say that if you think that everything's under control, you just don't have all the information.
Well, people ask me if I got my ducks in a row, and you've ever tried to herd the cats? Sometimes you don't even know where all your ducks are. Carry on, KI4SIB.
Very good. That's Richard and Stephanie in, well, at the moment, just west of downtown Lebanon, Kilo India 4 Sierra India Bravo and Kilo India 4 Sierra Oscar Romeo. And both just west of Lebanon at the moment. I'm not sure where they're moving to, but we'll find out. Who else is any place anywhere?
This is
Yes.
KE4DEZ. Daggone, I didn't know I waited till the Dominican vote check in, but I guess I wasn't paying attention. KE4DEZ. What's going on over there with your bad self, Paul, man?
Well, I'm getting along. How are you doing? I'm doing great, really. I don't have any complaints at the moment.
Well, I don't know, but I got complaints, but I kind of keep them to myself at times because I'm a long-winded old fart just trying to fit in where I can get in. So I did some yard work today in the cool of the evening, if you will, because I had to go around and walk around, speculate, and come up with some kind of a plan. I did that 2 or 3 times, and then I found myself out there with my gloves on, safety glasses on, and the here, there, and yonder, whatever tools, and got to it. What do you think?
Well, you're not doing any more chainsaw rodeos, are you?
No, not today. I was cleaning up after the chainsaw was put away and things like that. It's just, putting the sticks where the sticks need to go and the logs to hold the sticks in place. So when I get ready for that there, I don't know, maybe after the first snow, I have a fire going when the, burn band or whatever is released around these parts. And get some of those there aluminum foil bags and put me some vegetables in there and use the hot coals for all I could use it for. What do you think? Get a hot meal.
Yep, I'm with you. Well, you have to use your resources, right?
Yeah. Some of those there resources that I've almost forgotten, falls in that category. If you don't use it, you're gonna lose it, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. They say though, the only thing of all the things I've lost, the thing I miss the most is my mind.
Yeah. I was
I don't know. The rumor has it. I heard a story about that, about something like somebody said, or maybe in some circles, it says like they sold their mind on eBay, and they were waiting for it to come back on auction, but it hadn't come back up on auction yet. But I don't know if they do that on eBay anymore.
Well, if somebody bought it on eBay, they probably refurbished it and put it back on.
Yeah, and renamed it so you wouldn't have to. You can't reclaim it because they give it a new name called AI, right, for short.
Yeah. My wife just told me, people look it up. Some of you probably have. I can't do it at the moment, but she's walked in here a few minutes ago and told me that there was a mass shooting of like 12 people up in Maine just within the last hour or so.
Okay, yeah. So I'll let it go at that. That kind of falls in this category of the email or message I got. One of my brothers in arms is, well, facing the Green Reaper, so to speak, like any other way to put it. But anyway, 7-3 out there, Paul. Everyone out there on the net that can receive my transmission. This is Earl, KE4DEZ, in Stick City or Cedar City. 7-3. Happy Hump Day.
Yeah, very good, Earl. That was Earl, and he is in Noreen. He calls it Stick City. He's on the east side of Cedars 11 and Park, and it's KE4DEZ, Kilo Echo 4 Delta Echo Zulu. Anybody else out there?
KA3CTP.
Oh man, you're actually in person. Where are you?
In my basement.
Your signal is too good, man. What happened?
I'm just using that base station, 100 watts. I don't know, some antenna.
I'm so used to hearing you go up and down hills and with a crappy mobile signal.
Yeah, but mobile has its benefits.
Yeah, it does have its benefits. You can talk, and if the other person can hear you well. But anyway, you sound great. Been doing well. Did you hear that on that mass shooting today, just now?
No, but we didn't sell any guns for it either. We have been busy. I've been going into work a little bit here and there, trying to get, keep going. But the people are going nuts. Whatever the media is telling them, it's scaring them into buying everything they can get.
Well, I think that happens a lot. I think it's happening because of those people that were protesting in one way or the other about the thing that's going on in Palestine and Israel. So I think that's really the issue, because they're here. They are protesting inside of half of the major universities.
Yeah, but it's. I don't think there's as many people protesting as they've got that they're saying there is, and I think it's more or less the media is trying to push it up a bunch, just scaring the heck out of people. And I think if anything else, if these people want us to, lay off on the Palestinians, maybe we ought to just send them all back over there, and they can fight on their side.
Yeah, I'm with you. I understand their concerns, but I understand all of their concerns. What a mess over there. It's just a big, giant mess. And it has been a mess, well, since before you were born, and since before I was born. So I don't know if it's going to get better.
No, it will never get better. The kind of stuff that goes on, but I think a lot of the saber rattling and the stuff that's going on in order to spook us, and then they can sit there if they wanted to. They can go into that thing where we actually got a full-blown war. They keep the head of the country at the head until the war's over.
Yeah, it's a mess. And this is well, let me see if I can qualify. This is really the two biggest events I think, wartime in a long time. I know it was a mess at some of the times in Afghanistan, I agree, and in Iran, Iraq. But since the Iran-Iraq thing, when it was really hot and heavy back in the early 2000s, I guess, this is one of these two are the pretty big events, Ukraine and Israel, Palestine.
Yep, and they're guiding us into it. So I'm just glad I'm too old to be drafted. I sure do hope they don't really pull the women in like they say they're going to.
Well, I'm with you there. And let's put it this way, if they're drafting you and me, Brian, they're scraping the bottom.
Oh, yeah, I don't know what we can do for them, but I guess we could point to things they need to look at.
Well, here's the deal, though. A lot of people forget this, and it is true. In any war, including World War II, including Vietnam, including Korea, of all the people, even in the combat zone, I'll call it, like Vietnam, only 10% of the war of people actually see direct combat. There may be some people getting shelling, come around their neighborhood, but only about 10% see direct combat. And that's astounding when you think how many people served in World War II and the 500,000 or 600,000 that served in Vietnam, or all of the thousands that served in Afghanistan and Iraq. And it's amazing to me. So that a lot of times everybody else is in support positions. They're the repairmen, the food suppliers, the cooks, the armor. Everybody, all those other supply functions are required because you can't win a war without them.
Oh, yeah, well, I was told by a recruiter, a guy that actually was in the Vietnam twice, that there was over 2 million people brought over there, and wasn't bad odds.
No, there's, again, it sounds awful to say that it's, the odds of you being killed in Vietnam were pretty slim, really. I forgot the numbers were that high, but 2-point-something million, I believe, is correct. And yeah, it's a lot of people were in administrative positions and in supply positions in the South. Hold on one second. What did you say? What did you say?
Comment on that. You got to realize like in Afghanistan, there were contracts for every military person.
Oh yeah, they kind of, that's a tune that's changed. That procedural thing with civilians has changed, I think, over time, hasn't it, Mike? I mean, it didn't used to be that way years ago. Yes, we did have civilian contractors in Vietnam. We did have civilian contractors, I think, in World War II. I'm not positive about that.
Yeah, there were. I mean, the original Navy construction battalion were civilians with usually a Navy commander in charge of the group. But I mean, it's like every aircraft facility I worked at in Africa and Afghanistan, we were all civilians, no military controllers.
Right, and now all of the Navy, U.S. Navy supply ships, the what are they called? The U.S. Naval. It's a U.S. naval ship. It's not a USS. USNS, yes, U.S. United States naval ship. And all of those supply ships, they're almost they're not 100% civilian. They're merchant marines, so to speak. I believe that's how they classify those. Although they have like an intelligence group and maybe some small people with arms on them, like those supply ships. So yeah, it is always going to be. Now that's a big thing, because when I was in the Navy, all of our supply ships were Navy ships. They weren't USNs.
Same thing here. I mean, we do it.
Did you order a pizza?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. It's amazing. Things have changed, but the fact that things haven't changed is we don't have civilians flying fighter jets and fighter bombers and U.S. Navy ships and submarines. They're all occupied by people who joined the military. Anyway, anything else for the net there, Michael, before we move on?
No, that's just what you're on that.
All right. Appreciate your input on that. All right. Any other check-ins before we move on to 10 meters, 28415, upper side man? Don't hesitate. I'll wait. All right, that's where we're going. 10 meters, 28.415 upper sideband. We'll see you then. K4PW. All righty. Hold on. All right, now we're I think this is K4PW net control Mount Juliet Simplex Radio Net. Is it frequency in use? Sometimes I forget that there might be traffic here. Well, very good. Who else? Who do we have from the north, please, or from the west? Please come in. Whiskey 3 station. Is that what I heard? Whiskey 3 Tango Charlie. What was the last digit? Papa. Very good. Where are you located? Oh yes, I thought that looked familiar. Sorry about that, Daniel. Yes, you came in fine here. A little low on the audio, but it's a good signal. Well, very doing fine on whatever antenna you got there. Well, very good. That was Daniel. I'm sorry. Told you about the short memory here. That's Daniel, and that's Whiskey 3 Tango Charlie Papa. Who else is West?
Kilo Golf 4, India Lima Victor, Jack and Donaldson.
Were you able to hear Daniel tonight there, Jack?
Yeah, his signal was low, but it was readable.
Yeah, very good. I just wondered because you're blowing my eardrums out. I put my headphones on fully when he was on, and now you just he caused me Dane Bramage.
Well, you're pretty loud over here too.
Very good. That was Jack and Donaldson, Kilo Golf 4, India Lima Victor. Who else is West? Very good. That's Greg with a good signal. How about you? Were you copying Daniel at all?
I did not copy the station before Jack.
Okay, very good. Just want to double check. Yeah, you're in a little worse situation because your father a little farther south and got issues around the airport, I think. Anyway, that was Greg at Kilo Delta 4 Charlie Victor Echo in Antioch. Who else is West? West again or south?
Okay, 3 MPR south.
Very good. We got Kilo 3 Papa Romeo. That's Mike here in Mount Juliet. Who else? Great signal, but it's hard not to. It a couple of miles away. Who else is south or south? South or east?
Okay, I'm for a while. All right.
Very good. Yeah, you guys are split. He says you're south. You say you're east.
I'm probably south.
Well, you're south of I-40, and he's south of I-40, but you're both east of me.
Good point, Paul.
No, it doesn't matter. You know, it doesn't. It's not important. We don't stand on those principles. You know, you can identify any way you want to, man.
I'm gonna start identifying as rich.
Oh, there you go. That's good. Just it's not going to work out well, though.
All right, back to that.
Very good. That's Michael, Kilo Mike 4 Yankee Romeo Foxtrot in Mount Juliet. Who else is east? Anybody else east or south? I hear somebody talking. Can somebody hear that? Does anybody hear that station talking? I don't think it's ours.
I don't hear anything.
Yeah, there was somebody who actually, you know, this time it was actually some kind of he was saying something, but I couldn't make it out. All right. Who else is east or north? Anybody east or north, please come now. Any place, anywhere, please come now. All right, very good. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people on 28415. We had 21 people on 2 meters tonight, and we're going to move right over to 223.415. We'll see you there. If you have them, smoke them. And if you have them on 220, be there. We'll get you guys later. K4PW. And thanks for everybody showing up.
Come in.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, that might be Brian Hendricks in Fairview trying to check in.
It might be, but you know we don't do speculative check-ins.
Well, he's on the chat side, and he was going to try to check in from Fairview
Okay, yeah.
with Hamstring.
I did hear somebody talking, but it wasn't like somebody trying to check in. It was actually like there was a sentence strung in there or something. It might be him. You're right. I don't know. No, I don't. I'm not. If you say anything now, what's his first name there? That's hold on, Brian. Brian, is that you in there? Well, I'm not copying anything, so it might be him. You're right. Ask him if that was him talking, trying to check in last. All right, I'm going to close out this portion of the net. We're going to move over to 223.415. Thanks for checking in. K4PW. Closing out this portion on that, folks. I hope you enjoyed it. K4PW.